If you've been confused about what passes you need for your Banff adventure, you're definitely not alone. Today I'm breaking down everything you need to know about park passes, what you need, where you need them, how much they cost, and yes, I'll explain when you actually get in for free. Welcome to the Banff Travel Podcast. If this is your first time listening in, I'm Celine Brewer, a local Canmore resident and Banff travel planning expert. I help travelers like you plan unforgettable trips to Banff National Park and the surrounding area. If you've been here for a while, I truly hope you're finding these episodes helpful in your trip planning. I always get a lot of questions about passes and what's actually required, so this episode is going to be a little shorter, but hopefully it will clear up any questions. I know it might not be the most exciting topic. We'd all rather talk about stunning turquoise lakes and incredible mountain hikes, but understanding the pass system before you arrive will save you some time, money, and potential headaches. Trust me on this one. Let's start with the big one. When people say Banff Park Pass, they're actually talking about a Canada National Park Pass, and the annual version is called the Discovery Pass. Here's what you need to know. To enter Banff National Park, you need a pass, period. And this isn't just about being a rule follower. These fees actually stay right here in the park. They fund trail maintenance, scenic parkways, public safety, visitor information center, all the things that make our park so incredible. The pass is required for anyone who makes any stops in the park, so basically everybody. The only real exception is if you were driving right through without making any stops at all. Even if you're driving right through but happen to choose to drive the Bow Valley Parkway or the Icefields Parkway, then a pass is required. Honestly, my opinion is that if you're here to enjoy the park, then you should be willing to pay for its upkeep. You may find Turo car rentals or Airbnb rentals that are including park passes. Honestly, I think that's so wrong. For the small amount that you're saving, imagine the loss to the park from that for all of the people that they have renting all year long. Anyways, that's my soapbox and I'll step off it now. So let's talk about the actual pass. You have two options. A daily pass. So this is good until 4 p.m. the following day, regardless of when you buy it. So if you purchase at 3 p.m. on a Monday, it's valid until 4 p.m. on Tuesday. This daily pass works for Banff, Jasper, Yoho, Kootenay, so all of the nearby parks. Then there's the annual Discovery Pass, which is valid for a full year from the date of purchase. This gets you into all of the national parks in Canada, plus national marine conservation areas and national historic sites across the country. Now, what does this actually cost? So the daily pass is $11 per adult. It's $9.50 for seniors. Youth 6 to 17 years old are free. And if you have a family, so up to 7 people in one car, that daily pass is $22. That annual Discovery Pass is just over $75 for an adult, just over $64 for senior. Youth are still free. And for the family, so up to 7 people in one car, it's just over $151. So here's my local tip. If you're staying longer than 6 days, or if you plan to visit any other national parks in Canada within the same year, just get the annual Discovery Pass. It pays for itself quickly. And honestly, once you've experienced Banff, you're probably going to want to come back anyway. Now, what's not included in this pass? So your National Park Pass doesn't cover your camping fees, admission into any of the hot springs like the Banff Upper Hot Springs, Miette, or Radium. Any of the parking fees you pay at Lake Louise or in the Banff town site are not included. Your shuttle passes to Lake Louise or Moraine Lake are also not included. It's only the annual Discovery Pass that includes some of the national historic sites like the Cave and Basin. Also, provincial parks like Kananaskis are not included in this National Park Pass. So I'll talk more about that in a minute. First, let's talk about where you can buy your National Park Pass. So you can buy the passes online through Banff and Lake Louise Tourism or directly from Parks Canada. They'll mail it to you. Just make sure you order with enough time for shipping. You can also buy your pass at the Banff Park gates as you enter the park or visitor centers, or there are some participating retailers that you can buy it at. And you can even buy the Discovery Pass at the Calgary Airport at the Domestic Information Desk. So it's found on the arrivals level near door 9. If you want to skip any potential wait, buying online beforehand is an easy way to do that. Now your pass needs to be displayed either hanging from your rearview mirror or on your dash with the date side showing up. It must be signed by the pass holder and it can't be transferred or sold. Oops, this might be another soapbox I get on. These passes cannot be sold, so please don't go onto the Facebook groups after the fact trying to sell it. It's a small cost to your overall trip. Now, do they check for passes? Yes, they absolutely do. I've seen check stops at Lake Louise, Lake Minnewanka, and you'll see them regularly at the ski resorts during the winter. Now let's talk about the Kananaskis Conservation Pass. This is where people get confused. So Kananaskis is a provincial park, not a national park, which means it has its own separate pass system. If you're planning to explore anything in Kananaskis country, you're going to need the Kananaskis Conservation Pass. And I do recommend spending some time in this area. It's absolutely stunning. Now, this pass is more of a parking pass. So it's for vehicles parked at the provincial parks and public lands in Kananaskis country. This includes popular spots like Grassy Lakes, Kananaskis Village, the Canmore Nordic Centre, and any trails along Highway 40 or the Smith Dorian. Even if you're heading out on a whitewater rafting trip in Kananaskis, you need it for parking there as well. However, this does not apply to the town of Canmore itself. Now, what does this cost? Personal vehicles, day pass, $15, annual pass, $90. There's some free days, like the first Wednesday of every month, and other days throughout the year, like Christmas Day, Earth Day, Family Day, several others. The easiest way to get your Kananaskis Conservation Pass is to just buy online. I'll leave a link in the show notes. You register your license plate, so you're going to need your rental car anyways. You don't need to display anything in your car. It's all digital. You can also buy passes in person at visitor centers like the Kananaskis Visitor Center at Barrier Lake or the Canmore Nordic Centre. Now, a little local tip, some areas in Kananaskis have limited cell service. If you're planning a spontaneous trip along the Smith Dorian Trail, buy your pass beforehand because you're not going to have a signal to purchase it when you arrive. However, if you forget, you can still purchase your pass online before 11:59 p.m. on that date of your visit, even if your license plate had been scanned that day. Okay, so why two different passes? I know it seems confusing to have two separate systems in a very close proximity area, but Banff National Park is federally managed by Parks Canada, while Kananaskis is provincially managed by Alberta Parks. Different governments, different systems. The good news is both are easy to purchase and both go towards protecting and maintaining these incredible places. And I actually forgot to mention, there are also times when the Parks Canada does offer free admission. So right now, through the Canada Strong Pass program, admission to all national parks is free from December 12th, 2025 to January 15th, 2026. And it's going to be free again from June 19th to September 7th, 2026. During these periods, you don't need any entry pass or tickets to visit Banff, Jasper, Yoho, Kootenay, or any other national park. You still need to pay for everything else though, but the basic entry to the park is free. Okay, so now that we've covered all the different passes, let's talk strategy. If you're coming for a long weekend and staying in the Banff town site or Lake Louise, just get the daily National Park Pass, $22 for a family, totally affordable, covers everything you need for a short trip. If you're spending a week here, so over 6 days, get the annual Discovery Pass. Even if you're only using it for this trip, after 6 days, it pays for itself. Plus, it covers places like the Cave and Basin National Historic Site, which you may visit. Now, when do you need both passes? You're going to need your National Park Pass for any time that you're in Banff, Lake Louise, Yoho, Kootenay, Jasper, any of those areas. But if you're also planning on several days in Kananaskis, then it's probably easier just to get the annual Kananaskis Pass. If you're just doing a one-day trip to Grassy Lakes or to some hike along Highway 40, then just get the daily pass. Now remember that the free times for the national parks is different than the free days in Kananaskis. So the national parks are free from December 12th, 2025 to January 15th, 2026, and then again from June 19th to September 7th, 2026, whereas Kananaskis free days are the first Wednesday of every month, plus other specific days. Now, planning which passes you need is just one piece of putting together your Banff adventure. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the details, where to stay, what to do, how to avoid crowds, which hikes are best for your fitness level, I'd love to help. I offer personalized Banff travel consultations where we'll create a custom itinerary that fits your interests, your timeline, and your travel style. We'll figure out exactly what you want to see and do, and I'll give you all my local insights to make your trip absolutely unforgettable. You can learn more and book a consultation at travelbanffcanada.com. Having a local in your corner makes such a difference, and I genuinely love helping travelers discover the best of this incredible place I call home. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Banff Travel Podcast. I know passes and fees aren't the most exciting topic, but understanding this stuff before you arrive means more time enjoying the mountains and less time stressed at park gates or visitor centers. If you found this episode helpful, please hit follow and leave a quick review. It really helps other travelers find the show when they're planning their own Banff adventures. Until next time, happy trip planning, and I'll see you out on the trails.